Hey everyone, I got a new gameplay video for you here today. This is Lumines Electronic Symphony from Q and Ubisoft. This game is not quite out yet in Japan. It's looking like an April release. However, I did have someone from the US send me over a copy of the US version. Of course, Vitas are, region free, so you can play it no problem. So, I'll just give you my first impressions vid here today. I've been playing it for, the last couple of hours here. But you can see it's called Lumines Electronic Symphony. I'll just show you through some of the features of the game. I know that a lot of you are probably playing this or have played it, because obviously the Vita is now out over in the States. The game is now out over in the States, but I want to get up videos of a lot of games so that people who don't have these games or are wondering about them can check them out. So, I just thought I'd get up a gameplay video of this. Lumines has been a kind of a favorite of mine for a long time. Since it originally came out on the PlayStation Portable, the PSP at launch. I got that, I played the crap out of that, I max scored that, and I've been playing them a little bit here and there since. I really enjoy Lumines games. I think the music is really nice, and it's just a really fun puzzle game. So you can see as soon as you boot the game up, you'll get high scores going over here on the left column. It takes a little bit to download them as you play, but after you play for a while, they'll get all booted up into there. So you'll see here, I got 623,000 or so on my first playthrough. It looks like one of my friends here has 629,000, so still a bit ahead of me. But you can see right there how you're doing. So every day when you turn your system on or boot into the game, you can see what the next high score is that you want to aim for. You've also got this level bar here at the top, and that levels up basically from you doing almost anything in the game. And leveling up unlocks new avatars and new skins. So right here in the middle you've got Begin Voyage. That's basically the playthrough loop of the entire game, the course. If you've played Lumines before, you're familiar with that. It's the course mode, and it basically just goes forever, and you go for a high score. Hit here for more modes. You have World Block, and as you're playing, you're kind of erasing this huge block every day, every 24-hour period. And by playing the game essentially, and then uploading what you've done for the day, how much you've played, you're contributing to erasing this huge block known as the World Block. And by contributing to that, you get some bonus EXP and stuff like that. So I didn't know anything about that until just a few minutes ago, actually. But that seems like a pretty cool way to kind of contribute, socially and get some extra experience. You have collection in here. You can view your avatars, that kind of stuff, and you have an options menu there. So before I show off Voyage, I'll go into more modes and just kind of show you that. You have a master mode here, dual mode, stopwatch mode, and playlist mode. These are all pretty much everything that you would expect. I will show you playlist mode, because this is a pretty cool thing that they have in this game. You can basically build your own playlist by taking tracks and throwing them up here onto the playlist. So you can get whatever you like up here. So we'll throw this up here. Let's say we don't like, I don't want that. Pull it back down. And basically create a playlist that you'd like to play from beginning to end. You can also decide whether you want to play it once or endless it. Just play it over and over again. So you could come up with some pretty cool playlists like this to compete against your friends on. If there's only, if there's only certain songs that you really, really like, you could just make a song list of that and loop that. And then the cool thing is, let's say I really like this playlist. We just tap up here. We hit save over here. We give it a name, list, spelled wrong. Hit enter, and it saves it. So this is now known as list, again, spelled wrong. Yeah, and then we can reload it at any time. So you can get playlists going like that, pretty cool. Yeah, something neat I wanted to show off there. There is a bit of loading time in the game, I've noticed. You'll see I haven't even actually played the game yet, but in and out of menus, a little bit of loading time. So just something to note. And again, the mode's there, and Voyage mode here. I'll pop into Collection, show you a little bit about what the avatars do this time around, and then show you some actual gameplay. So you have Collection, Room, Gift Box, or Exchange All. Using Near, or even just using the game itself through the PlayStation Network, you can send your friends avatars and you can send your friends skins, which is pretty neat. Obviously you can unlock it all on your own, but it's probably quicker to unlock it just by gifting it to your friends. So you'll see there's a gift button over here. So I don't have a ton of avatars unlocked so far. Obviously using Near, I'm sure I'll get a lot more soon. But you can see as you go through, this time the avatars actually have special abilities. So for example, Mitsu, who I'm using now, single player ability is Chain Reaction, which if I use that, it changes the next waiting block into a chain block, which is super useful. And in dual mode, hang time increases the wait time for the next blocks for a set period of time. so that you have a little bit more time to think. So they have various kind of power-ups or things like that you can use, abilities, which definitely seem like they'll come in handy. So I think that's pretty awesome. And again, you can take your avatars and gift them to your friends through Near or just over the PlayStation Network, which is pretty awesome. You know, you can unlock all of the cool stuff in the game that you want to get at, and you can get at it quicker. So that is neat. So yeah, why don't we go ahead and jump into the gameplay a little bit. I won't show Voyage mode this time. I mean, it's long, obviously. To get this score over here, I was playing for over an hour straight. But you know, you can get a feel for the game is through you know, through this playlist mode here. So I'll do that, and you get to see a good variety of the skins. So why don't we go ahead and drag these down here. Yeah, why don't we just flip through here a little bit. I'll just, nothing in particular. I do have a couple of favorites already just from my first playthrough. These aren't necessarily them, but I'm just going to throw up a few here that will look, you know, decently different. Why don't we go with those three? So yeah, you go ahead and hit play up here, and I'll show you the game a little bit. So these are three different skins. Obviously the music will change as you play through them. The skin look completely changes. If you aren't familiar with Lumines, this will give you a good idea of what it's all about. So I'm not gonna, you know, try too incredibly hard here as I'm playing through, but yeah, I'll just show off the game. So basically, for those of you who haven't played Lumines or don't really know what Lumines is, I'm sure there are a few of you out there. You're basically just trying to create square blocks. If you create a square of 4 or more, it will, you know, flash up like that, and as the line there goes across the screen, it erases it. So some skins have a really fast moving line, and some skins have a really slow moving line, and on top of that, some skins, the blocks will drop from the top very, very quickly, whereas other skins they won't. Now what you just saw there, that was the new Randomized Block. A lot of people have complained about that. I've seen on Twitter that block, it hits all your other blocks and completely randomizes them. But I don't see the big problem with it, because, for example, if I'd put it down here in the bottom left instead, it wouldn't have randomized these main blocks because they're not connected. It would have just randomized down there. So on the one hand, if you keep like a little side part open down there, you can use that in order to negate the effect of the randomized block if you don't want it. Now, as you're getting higher and higher built up here, the randomized block can actually help you. Obviously, if you've built your blocks on the screen too high, that would be simply because you've kind of screwed up. You haven't linked as well as you should have. So the randomized block can come in there and really help you out. And again, the avatar abilities I talked about, I'll use it now, even though it's not necessarily a time to use it. You just touch your avatar down here in the bottom left, and you'll see up here. My next block now includes a chain, and we'll just use that. Oh, totally didn't do that right, but that's okay. Again, I was just showing you the ability, not using it properly necessarily. So yeah, so this is quite a strange skin here. The song is quite odd, but there we go. We'll get some use out of that block after all. So you'll see, yeah, that chain block went through and hit all that. And you'll see here's a skin transition. So pretty awesome. The skin transitions this time also swipe completely across the screen like that, and you're in the new skin. So the one thing I will note, that if you haven't heard yet, these blocks are actually all being rendered in 3D here on the Vita, which is pretty neat. It's the first time that they've been able to do that, to kind of show off some cooler effects than they could in the past, just using 2D rendering. So these blocks, everything, all these little pieces are actually rendered in complete 3D this time. Also, if you look on the right there, you'll see the clear percentage. It's at 30 right now. That's showing my clear percentage for the skin. So once that hits 100, it goes to the next one. So this is the second of 3 so far. See, I will consider making some videos in the future with kind of some advanced playing tips, but you know, that's mostly for the endless mode, really. For just playing through a few skins here, it's more for, you know, trying to get a high score. Not in too much danger of dying here, obviously. But yeah, as you do play through the endless mode, it does get crazier and crazier until you really have to use some different skills in order to be able to keep going. You'll also notice, I'm not sure how well you can see it, but in the bottom left you can see the percentage for your special. Your special has to build up, obviously. You can't use it endlessly. So mine's at 23% now, and then once that hits 100, I'll be able to use the special again. So those specials, they are really neat. I'm really glad they added that to the game. The avatars were mostly just for show before, or completely just for show before, but now they've got these little specials, and it's not like every single avatar has their own specials, because most of them are kind of reused over and over again, but just the fact that there are some specials in the game, and hopefully they'll be able to think of some more cool ones and get them added in. So as you can see, we just went through another, transition there, and this is another one that's completely different looking, so you can kind of see it. You can kind of see on this one too the 3D edge of the block. I'm not sure how well you can see that, without looking at it closely, but there is an edge on the right side of the block there. You can tell it's actually a 3D object and not just a 2D one. So yeah, like I was saying earlier, there are some really nice tracks in the game. I played through the entire endless mode. I actually got through it on my first try, which was pretty cool, but I played through the entire endless mode and saw almost all the tracks in the game. There are a couple of tracks that don't show up in there, a couple of the ones that you unlock by leveling up, but yeah, I saw most of the tracks in there and was pleasantly surprised by a lot of them. I still hold that the first Lumines on PSP, it still has my favorite tracks, but I think a lot of that, of course, is nostalgia. That can't really be helped. I really like the tracks on that one, though. But this one does seem to have some really nice tracks. I didn't really seem to have picked any of them for this little preview here, but that's alright. I'm still learning exactly what they are, what the names were. Alright, so here's the random block. So we'll throw that down and you'll see it flips things around, and a lot of times the situation I was in there, it flipped them around for the better. So you'll see a good part of the screen here getting erased and kind of helping me get back on my feet and also net me an ultra bonus there. So I really have no qualms with that randomized block. I think it's quite alright. This is actually a pretty neat little song here. Again, randomized, so if I want to move it over here, you'll see it won't affect the, and I finished it, but it wouldn't have affected this left side, just the right side. So it's nice to keep a little bit of distance there in the middle for that randomized block like that if you can. So anyway, yeah, I cleared through it. You'll see here it's going to give me a score, it's going to give me some EXP. Pretty much anything you do in the game gives you EXP, which is nice. So level increased, and I got a new avatar, so that's pretty cool. Sure, there will be a lot more of those to unlock. But yeah, that's it. That's Lumines. First impressions in a nutshell there. I will have a review coming for this one, as with a lot of the other games that I've been playing through recently. Coming up pretty quick, but this one so far it's looking really nice. The only thing that's put me off a little bit is just the loading times, especially in the 30-second challenge. But other than that, no. Really enjoying it. I really like Lumines. I'd say if you like puzzle games or music in the least, this is definitely one to pick up. So thanks for watching. I'll get some more gameplay videos up of some other games. I received a new shipment of games today from the States. Got a bunch of games, so I'll be getting videos up of these over the weekend and through the next week. Again, thanks for watching, guys.